Thank you so much. Greetings to all. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to share my views in this IN 4 OBE Global Virtual Summit 2022. The topic is the training and development for transformational education to bridge the existential curriculum gap. I'm Dr. Muthukumaran, representing Royal College of Engineering and Technology, Thrissur, Kerala, India. The presentation of outline. So I made the presentation outline in this manner: outcome-based education and overview, and the graduate attributes, skill requirement for students, training and development for faculty, bridging the curriculum gap, and developing employability skills as per industry requirement. And yes, everybody know the father of outcome-based education, William Spady, and is an academic, educational psychologist, sociologist, and is considered the father of outcome-based education. So that is the need of the hour, and every academician and industrial persons we are looking for. And he is largely noted for his works that attempt to expand and enhance the philosophical grounding and performance of educators, leaders, educational systems, and learners. And outcome-based education, hereafter I will be representing this as OBE, is a student-centric learning method, and everybody aware of this. And in the previous years, we started with the teacher-centric system, and later on, depending on our requirement and also on the requirement of the industries, and we changed to the outcome-based education, which is a student-centric learning method. And this outcome-based education is based on the various parameters. One, I can say, the standard of education, curriculum, accreditation requirements. And when you look into this industry and the continuous improvement, and we are all following the standard of education, we are maintaining and everywhere and throughout the globe, and then curriculum, we are framing then and there, then accreditation requirements also we are meeting. But there's a question here between the gap, that the curriculum gap between the industry and the faculty and the students, those who are learning the learning, and the continuous improvement also, that is also a question here. Then coming to this OBE, it's a solution to the rising unemployment, because we are not supposed to produce only the young budding engineers or young budding students as just earning their degree and then looking for an employment. So here we may have to give a solution to the rising unemployment through this outcome-based education. And the graduate attributes which forms this outcome-based education, one, say, a knowledge base for engineering, problem analysis, investigation, design, use of engineering tools, individual and teamwork, communication skills, professionalism, impact of engineering on society and environment, ethics, economics and project management, and lifelong learning. And here in this graduate attributes, as a faculty, and we will be imparting knowledge for engineering graduates, for examples, and problem analysis also we do, and investigations and design, everything we are following. And the gap we may have to identify, say, the curriculum gap. And here, this, with respect to this faculty training and development, and here in this student-centric approach and the learning methodology, that's a step towards this outcome-based education. And the upgradation of faculty qualities, say, we may have to upgrade the qualities of faculty through short-term training programs, the faculty development programs, and quality improvement programs, web learning, etc. And nowadays, industry requires budding generation, is to build their capabilities to the extent of involving themselves not only in earning a degree. Our responsibility goes beyond that, so to improve the employability skills as per the industry requirement. And updating, so in connection with this, updating program curriculum, teaching and learning processes, and faculty achievements also, and we may have to concentrate on student skills, abilities, and knowledge also. And here, hence, to produce 21st century employable younger generation, an outcome-based education with employability skills are very much essential. In connection with this, faculty should be trained, because the topic itself, what I have taken for my presentation, is faculty training and development to bridge the curriculum gap. So first thing, and first and foremost thing here is the faculty should be trained well in the area of industry requirement, knowledge on the latest technologies adopted in industries. In turn, the students will be enriched with the knowledge what the faculty members have gained through their training. And students should be prepared for teamwork. Apart from this, they should be prepared for teamwork, and faculty should attend these online courses in India like SWAM, NPTEL, etc., which is NPTEL courses have been run by IITians, and to enrich their knowledge on the latest technologies, transforming in turn benefits to the student community. And commitment to high quality teaching and learning by serving as a role model. Am I audible? Industrial training should be given.
Yes, Professor, you are audible.
Sure. Industrial training should be given for the faculty to update the industry requirement and motivate the students for industrial training. And in this regard, industrial and institution in industry interface that will result in enhanced teaching and learning. And industry and academia relationship also has to be enhanced. It is in progress, but still some more initiatives should be taken on this industry academia relationship in terms of inviting the industry personals and then to share their knowledge with the young budding engineers. And industry institute partnership program should be initiated in all institutes. I'm not saying we are not doing this process, but still to from the top level institutes to the the institutions which is coming under the universities also, they should take initiatives to make use of this benefit for the student community. And to conduct the curriculum gap analysis, so first I concentrated on the faculty training and development. Now I'm coming to this curriculum gap analysis process. Here we may have to review the current curriculum content and identify the skills and knowledge and the students are expected to have at the end of their learning. Compare this with the actual skills and knowledge that students have. Identify that gap that exists between these two, between the actual knowledge, actual skills, what they are learning, and the knowledge that the students have. And the frame in place interventions to address any identified curriculum gap. And this curriculum gap I'm representing this way. There are three analyses can be carried out. One, the content gap means you may need to revise the curriculum to include additional topics or skills that we are doing. And implementation gap, provide more opportunities for students to practice and apply what they are learning. Say this also we may have to develop, like whatever they are learning, we will ask the students to practice and then apply while they are learning itself. And the achievement gap is also there, that we may need to provide targeted support to students to help the students to catch up with that. And to conclude, a curriculum gap should be identified by the faculty and student should be trained according to the industry requirement. And faculty should be tested for his or her ability to teach the students, and it should help to change the attitude of students to prepare themselves for the industry requirement. And finally, faculty should upgrade themselves in training the students in outcome-based education with necessary employable skills. And student skill development with all these things, training the faculty and training the students, and then bridging the curriculum gap. And we may have to move on to the student skill development that's enhancing the graduates with fundamental knowledge in planning, analysis, and design for sustainable world habit. And emphasize also, we may have to emphasize a global outlook on growing world with new techniques and solutions. So the student should aware of not only in a local basis, but they should also have a knowledge on and the global level. Also, good interpersonal skills and competency in communication and presentation to enable them to lead and work in a multidisciplinary team environments. That is also, it is essential. And the follow-up of my presentation, I would like to conclude this way. Education policies that we are all doing, that educational policies in turn that should come to the universities as a regulations, and then curriculum and the syllabus framing. In fact, we are doing that, but in addition to that, we may have to identify the curriculum gap and the identification of that gap as per the industry requirement. As on now, that has to be done. That freedom should be given to the universities and also to the faculty members to identify the gap and to fill that gap. What is the technology development, or in what way the faculty should be trained on the latest technologies? Say, for example, and I'm a civil engineer, and if you would like to ask me what is that latest technology to be developed, on what area the faculty members should be trained, I can say the 3D printing, that area people should aware. And then building information modeling, everybody is doing, but this 3D printing, not only at the basic level, the faculty should be given training at at an advanced level to aware of that, and then full knowledge gain the knowledge on that, and then that should be taught to the students. So that is how I'm just representing it here. And then faculty training, I already discussed that. And then to bridge the curriculum gap, so that has to be taken care. Even though we ourselves, we are academicians, we are planning and doing the curriculum development, and then the syllabi framing, and then the teaching the students, and all such things are happening. And we may have to incorporate the industry personnels in all levels, and then to just get their knowledge, to get their opinion in improving upon all these curriculum gaps. And the budding engineers with knowledge of fulfilling the industry expectation. So that must be our motto, and working with this kind of teaching environment. And to conclude, I can say, for example, the practical way what I have done with my students. So everybody knows nanotechnology applications in civil engineering part of it, but I took the area of nano applications and nano in hydraulics. So that I have tried, means the application of nanotechnology for the canal lining process. I have tried with this nanotechnology, means as a coating process, that I have tried. And I have just asked the students to go ahead with that. So I have just shown them the outline of that, how best we can do this for bridging the gap, curriculum gap in our the irrigation subject. And I asked them, kindly do this and then collect the literatures, and then what are the nano applications in all civil engineering areas, what is the gap in the nano applications or nano in hydraulics part of it, what best we can make use of it, can we do any model analysis for that. So that also we tried in our laboratory as a flume study, and then as a flume coating we did using nano, and then we try to project it as a whole for the safety of the dam. So that way I just train the students, because I just identified the gap, what is not in to fill up that I, as a faculty, I myself have identified it, and then involve my students, and then just give them the awareness, and automatically they just what we need to do here is just we have to give them a spark. Then automatically young budding engineers, they start working on that, they start thinking. We may have to initiate them to think, act, and then finally they may have to achieve it. So this is one example I would like to share with the forum. And to conclude my presentation, education policies should be framed then and there. and the university regulations to follow up that, and then the gap should be identified as per the industry requirement. And first of all, faculty training should be taken care, and to bridge this curriculum gap. And finally, we may have to help, or we may have to motivate the young budding engineers with the knowledge of fulfilling the industry expectation.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Mr. Dr. Kumaran, for your nice and motivational speech. Let me see whether we have any questions in our chat box.
Sure.
I don't see any question written over there. Do we have any questions from our speakers, other speakers, to Dr. Kumaran?
Yeah, tell me so.
Okay, so let me just quickly ask you a question, because we have time shortage. We may be able to ask you one or two questions. You talked about the faculty training and development. So can you cite any example of faculty training that you have done in your institution for their development?
Yeah, what we have done is on the outcome-based education, we have given them the training in all the in achieving all the graduate attributes, and in particular the curriculum gap. We just ask individual faculty to come up with their own curriculum, and what is the subject they are going to teach this particular academic session. We just ask them to go through it, and we ask them to identify the curriculum gap and what kind of training or what sort of training can be taken for them in the previous semester itself. That will be taken. Otherwise, we just ask the faculty members, okay, any kind of common sort of the training programs to be organized. That also we are organizing. So that kind of approach we are doing.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer. So it is time to go to the next talk, and I'd like to thank you one more time for your talk, Dr. Kumaran. And I would really ask you to do us one favor to make Mr. Mutiur Rahman the host. Currently, you are the host for this meeting. So can you do that? Can you just make Mr. Mutiur Rahman from the panelist and make him host?
Thank you, sir. Thank you all for your patience listening.
So let us go to the next talk. And Professor Rajasri Rao, are you ready, or should we wait for a little bit more for your talk? I think we can go to Dr. Mohammad Faisal Khan. I think Dr. Mohammad Faisal Khan is ready.
Yes, please. Yes, okay. I'm ready.
Okay. So let me briefly introduce you to our audience. So Dr. Mohammad Faisal Khan is a faculty member in the Department of Electrical Engineering, Hamdard University, Karachi since 2015. During his service at Hamdard University, he has served at various administrative positions, including Program Coordinator of Electrical Engineering and Electronics Engineering, and OB Advisor. With an undergraduate degree in electrical engineering from NED, he has industrial experience of both public and private sectors. As a researcher, he is the recipient of research funding from IEEE, HEC, these organizations. So his talk's title is Reason for Reluctance Shown by the Faculty Member in Adaptation to OB System and its Mitigation Strategy. So we are looking forward to a nice talk. Dr. Khan.
That's so nice of you, Session Chair, Dr. Sajid Munir. Let me share my slide, please. Okay, please confirm me that whether I'm audible or not.
You are audible. You are audible, and we can see your slides.
Okay.
Yeah, please make the slides.
Are you able to see my slide?
Yes, we can see your slide, but we cannot see the full screen. Can you start the full screen? Dr. Muthu Kumaran, can you hear me? Can you make, you are currently the host of this meeting. Can you make Mr. Mutiur Rahman the host? Yes, he is now the host, right? Mutiur Rahman, are you the host?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Should I start?
Yeah, Dr. Faisal, please start. Thank you.
I hope my presentation slides are visible to all of you. Okay, let's start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Because I don't know which part of the world are you sitting right now. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all of you. My name is Dr. Mohammad Faisal Khan. The title of my presentation is Reasons for Reluctance Shown by Faculty Members in Adoption of OBE System and its Mitigation Strategies. It's quite interesting topic because if you are if you have implemented OBE system in your university or institute or department, you would have certainly faced these issues. So this topic is quite interesting, and I'm sharing some of the key reasons which I have noticed for the reluctance shown by the faculty members in adoption of OBE system, and along with some strategies that can minimize this reluctance. So I am already been introduced by the session chair. So let's start. Okay, Pakistan's journey towards OBE system. Pakistan applied for Washington Accord and became the provisional member in 2010 and in 2011. So as a requirement of Washington Accord, Pakistan has to implement OBE system. So in this journey, Pakistan Engineering Council was taking lead, and they were basically the signatory of Washington Accord on the behalf of the government. So after became the provisional member, then they start training the various universities. So I was lucky enough to be a part of a university where they started these trainings. So I also attended this training. Then later on, Alhamdulillah, Pakistan became the full member in 2017, and then Pakistan Engineering Council made it mandatory for all the engineering programs in the country to teach through OBE system. So this is a small journey. So I was part, as I said earlier, I was part of that university, which was taking the trainings in the very first time by the Pakistan Engineering Council. Then I joined Hamdard University in 2015, where I was given the task to serve as FEST OBE coordinator for about 4 years. So I have to implement the OBE system in my university, named at Hamdard University. I had to train my faculty colleagues. I have to design policies, get them approved. Then later faculty members. I was saying that I was able to get the information from various faculty members of various departments of various parts of the country, and I noticed that there is some resistance in implementing this new system. Maybe it's something natural in a human being. So now I'm sharing some few reasons which I have noticed as the key reasons. As far as the faculty members' role, we all know that faculty member is the most important part of a university, of an institution. So if you want to implement the OBE system in the university or institution, faculty members have to play the crucial role. They not only have to learn the OBE system, but they also have to deliver it to the students. They also have to groom the students about this new system. So their role is crucial. So after these 4 to 5 years or 7 years of experience, which I've gone through with the faculty members regarding OBE, so I divided them in 3 categories. So I repeat, I divided them in 3 categories. This is my personal categorization, and with no offense to anyone. So I'm pretty sure that you all are faculty members. Please don't feel offensive. This is just my perception and my experience. Category A, I counted some faculty members in this category because these are those persons who are willing to adopt the OBE system. Okay, fine, that's something really nice. Like, and unfortunately, they are already always very less in number. Second category, these are those faculty members who are not willing to adopt the OBE system, unfortunately. But the best part about them is They inform you about their reservation, their queries. Don't want to adopt the system because of this reason or that. This is the best part because they are informing you why they are reluctant to obey. Now there is a third category. This is a very crucial one. These are those faculty members who are not willing to adopt the system, and unfortunately, they also don't inform you about their reservations or queries, etc., which is quite alarming and which is quite dangerous. A person, if he is not or she is not willing to adopt the system, but he or she should raise her query or inform us why he or she is not willing to adopt or implement this OP system. So these are the three categories which I have made for the faculty members as far as my experience in OB trainings and OB implementation is concerned. What are the reasons? So the very first reason which I have noticed is the faculty members always think, oh, okay, now what is the advantage to me? What is the benefit to me? This is the crucial thing. Faculty members, if they are not interested in implementing OB system with full spirit, the first query, the first reason, most important one, according to them, is what's the advantage to them? So this is something which is the best part is if they are informing you. So I count them as category B faculty members. They tell you, a number of faculty members inform me that we are not interested because what is the ultimate benefit to me? I'm a faculty member. What is the benefit to me? Second query is that they told me, and I noticed them, that the faculty member said, oh, okay, Jana, I have a lot of other tasks. I have to supervise thesis. I have to conduct research work. I have to complete my projects. I have to administrative duties and this and this and this. So again, these are category B faculty members who are telling you that why they are not adopting or interested in adopting OB system. This is the second major reason which I have noticed. The third one, again, category B faculty members, they say that, okay, OB system is not worthwhile as compared to the previous system. It is only just the increase of paperwork. According to them, this is only the increase of paperwork, and it is not worthwhile. This is the third major reason which I have noticed and observed and listened by the faculty members. Now the last one, because of short of time, I have picked up very few reasons, and the most important one which I have listened. So the last one is category C faculty members. This is the category of faculty members that are not willing to adopt or implement the OB system. Plus, they will also not tell you what are the reservations. They always keep quiet. They just attend your training and leave, or either they don't come to your trainings, etc. So what I have experienced or what I have calculated about them, or what I have noticed about them, they are not willing to learn new things. Whatever they are doing for past so many years, they just want to continue it. They don't want to learn new things. And this is unfortunately I have noticed with the senior faculty members or senior most faculty members, they usually have this kind of issue. So these are few of the reasons, most important reason which I have noticed or experienced. Now the mitigation strategies. Mitigation strategy, the first thing which I think that we being as OB trainers or OB focal person, we should explain and teach our faculty colleagues about the true spirit of OBs. If my faculty colleagues learn and understand clearly about the OB spirit, then he or she will be convinced to adopt it in the true form. Unfortunately, this is somehow I think we got this is the missing element maybe, or lacking element, or we have not focused on explaining the true spirit of OB. So this is why the people are reluctant in implementing it. The second thing, we should guide our faculty colleagues about the outcomes of OB system. We should guide them, okay, if we are going to implement this OB system, if we are able to implement this OB system, ultimately this will be the benefit, the key outcomes, the skills which my student will learn at the end of the day. So this is the benefit of OB system. So if they have end in mind, so this is a possibility. I think that they will be more convinced towards implementing this OB system. Okay, we should suggest them to groom their students about OB and spread by conducting multiple sessions. Okay. It's very simple. If we are going to teach something to someone, so we will learn a lot because we have to convince someone else. So let those faculty members get trained by you, and then let them groom their students, conduct sessions for their students. The faculty members should conduct the sessions for their students, multiple sessions in which they will again and again explaining about OB and spread, etc. So in this way, they will be more convinced towards OB. Make OB mechanism simple. Now come to other part of the strategies that we should make our OB mechanism or whole system very simple. We should reduce the paperwork. Worldwide, it has been reduced. In Pakistan, we are working hard. Number of things have been done. OB has been implemented, but still the paperwork is somehow there. So it is being reduced. It is in process. So at some places, in some of the universities, it has been reduced as minimum as possible. This, which is the best strategy. So we should reduce the paperwork. We should make the OB mechanism simple. So in this way, the students, the faculty colleagues will be more happy in implementing and adopting this OB system. Now, from this fourth point, I have another point that we should automate the OB system. All of the universities worldwide, they have a campus management system. So we should embed the OB system in that. If a teacher submits his or her course result, lab result, etc., just after the submission, there should be a pop-up window or something like that, which is usually available, that where the faculty member or the course instructor can mention that the persons who have secured F grade or less grade, or what is the expected reason for that, or if the course is not completed, what's the reason behind that, what are the suggestions he or she want to give for the next teacher, or which of the suggestions given by the previous course instructor or lab instructor have been utilized, and if not utilized, then what's the reason behind that. It means if the whole system is automated, after submission of result, there is a window or a form which he or she submits online, and that form is being sent to some relevant forum or committee by the CMS or whatever the management system you have. So in this way, life will be more simple for the faculty member. He or she will feel quite relaxed, and he or she will feel comfortable with this OB system. So these are some mitigation strategies which I have decided, or I have finalized for to make the faculty members convinced in adopting the OP system and implementing the OP system into its spirit. Because of short of time, I've picked only 4 reasons and 5 suggestions. Now that's all from my side. And all these reasons and mitigation strategies are the outcome of my experience with while implementing and OB system at the university, while making the while delivering the trainings, while visiting different universities for the reaccreditation of their programs, etc. Thank you. That's all from my side. My email address is given there. If there is any query, kindly inform me, or if there is any suggestion, please inform me. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohammad Faisal Khan, and thank you for your nice talk and presentation. I'm talking about a real scenario and real problem in implementing OP systems. Do we have any questions or comment on Dr. Faisal Khan's presentation from the panelists, from the speakers? Okay. So again, a nice talk. Let me ask you a question. So what measures have you actually taken in your institution to mitigate all these problems? So just share a few so that we can also learn about these mitigation strategies. What practically what you have done?
And there's a very interesting question, a very valid question. Basically, what I have done at my university is that I've requested faculty members to come to me, or let's have a tea break, or let's have a tea session, and we sit together in the form of a group, and I ask them clearly that if you are not interested, why not interested? What are the problems which you are facing? So in this way, if they feel relaxed, they told me, okay, Janab, we are having the problem of paperwork, we are increasing burden, etc. So what I have to do, I have to make my mechanism simple. I have to go for automation as maximum as possible, reduce the paperwork, and made them comfortable with this system. Most of my faculty members, which are lab instructors, they have a very tough time with this OB system because in 3 hours of time they have to conduct the experiment, deliver the experiment. They also have to make readings, etc. So I have to sit with them one to one and resolve their queries and suggest them runtime issues, suggest them runtime measures that can be taken by them in order to conduct the experiment in the true OBE form. So basically, the best part in a single form, what you have to do, you have to listen to the faculty member. If he or she is comfortable enough to explain his or her problem with OB system with you, okay, in that case, you are able to solve it. This is the strategy which I have picked. I go one to one with them. Let's have a tea break. Let's have a tea session. I call them. Most of the young faculty members, I call them. Let's in the form of 10 to 15 faculty members have a discussion. In this way, I learned a lot. I came to know about the problems, and then I tried my level best to solve it.
So
again,
communication is the key.
Communication is the key. Agree.
Okay. So thank you very much for your informative talk and lively discussion. Thank you, Dr. Khan. So let us then go to the next talk. Professor Rajashree Rao, are you ready to present your presentation? Can you hear us? Professor Rajashree, we cannot hear you though.
Please name and mute yourself and turn on your camera.
Professor Rajashree, you have to turn on your audio and video. Okay, so what we can do is Mr. Oluwarte Joshua Oibode, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we can listen to his talk now, and then we can go to Professor Rajashree. So the title of Oluwarte's talk is Faculty Training, Innovation, and Capacity Building of Outcome-Based Education and Sustainable Development. Mr. Joshua is a seasoned, multifaceted visionary and
now he has already started. Next.
And registered civil engineer that combines teaching, research, and community development with professional practice. He had paper publications in conferences, reputable local and international journals. He is registered with the Council for the Regulation of Engineers in Nigeria, COREN, and had his practicing license up to date. He's a member of many professional associations such as American Society of Civil Engineers, Environmental and Water Resources Institute of ASCE, Nigerian Society of Engineers, etc. He distinguished himself by winning many awards and serving in several committees in ABU, NSC, and as a research person for COREN accreditation of some Nigerian universities. So, Joshua, can you start presenting, sharing your slide and presentation?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
But we cannot see your slide though.
You can see my slide. That's fine.
No. So, yeah. Can you share the slide?
My topic is faculty training, innovation and capacity building for outcome-based education and sustainable development. I am.
Mr. Joshua, have you shared your slides?
Can you see my slide?
No,
You cannot see my slide?
No, you cannot see your slide. Yeah. Can you share one more time?
What of like this?
So you
now we will stop it. When we will start.
Can you see my slide?
No,
you cannot.
Click the share screen. Professor Rao, can you stop sharing your screen? Mr. Muthu Rahman, can you make me host? Mr. Joshua, have you tried to share your screen?
I'm trying to slide, but it's not going. I try to share again. It's not. Can you see my screen? It's not. I try to.
No. Yeah, now it's available. Yes.
Can you see my slide?
I just saw it, but it went off again.
Okay. What of like this? What of like this? Why not? I try to share.
Unmute it. When video comes, I on it.
Can you see my slide?
Yes, I can see your desktop. Yes. Yeah.
How you share your slide? You
yeah.
You can see now.
Yeah, I can see your slides. Yes, go ahead, please.
Thank you. So the topic is faculty training, innovation and capacity building for outcome-based education and sustainable development. Like I've been introduced, I'm Oluwadari Joshua Oyebode from the Civil and Environmental Engineering Department. It's a senior lecturer in the Abeola University, Ekiti State, Nigeria. Happy to be part of this for OB Global Virtual Summit. So I will go to the introductions. We are on the track 2, computer engineering and technology. Wow. So my presentation will take this outline. I will go into the introduction, looking at the faculty training, innovations, capacity building. Then I will do conclusions and recommendations. Thank you very much for the opportunity, the organizer of this workshop, for the opportunity given to me to present my paper. Faculty training, innovation, and capacity building are essential for outcome-based education and sustainable development in all nations of the world. As we all know that education stands as the bedrock of every development in any country of the world, and engineers are the forefront of every technological development and industrial revolution. In every nation, looking at North American, European, Europe, Asia, Africa, and many aspects of the world. Outcome-based education is critical, is crucial for addressing prevailing issues on accreditation, sustainability, and recognitions of engineering training in all nations of the world. Tertiary education could provide both professional knowledge, skills, and all-round attributes to their graduates through the OB approach. It empowers a workforce that can compete in a global economy of the 21st century society. OB equips learners to transfer academic success to life in a complex, challenging, and high technological future. We know that technologies are advancing, and outcome-based education is the way forward. There are a lot of efforts around the globe for the achievement of transformational education, innovation, adequate faculty training, capacity building, outcome-based education, and excellent performance in all facets of tertiary education programs. The roles of academic faculty member or academic staff include teaching, research, and community development. These are three pivotal legs that every academic must stand. Teaching must be enhanced by quality research, and there must be community development for the populace. Effective teaching enhances students' learning, brings out innovation in them, and improves national economies, Quality of graduate cannot be higher than the quality of education they receive, because we cannot give what we cannot give. What you have is what you can give. If the lecturers are not well equipped, they will not be able to deliver the best to their students. Quality of a nation cannot be better than the quality of our education. So this paper examines effective ways of deploying faculty training, stakeholders' involvement, accreditation procedures, and capacity building for engineering programs. Data were collected through investigation of some engineering universities, recognition surveys, literature reviews, and interview of stakeholders for sustainable development. And we look at what are the mitigation strategies that can combat limitation for capacity building and other salient issues. All these were identified. The challenges of this were reviewed with a special focus on research in institution capacity and management staff of selected industries. We know that innovation include ideas, imagination, thoughts, expression, problem solving. We should be able to solve complex engineering problems. And when you talk about innovation, look at the process value, invention, implementation, useful. What are the things that can do to get measurable progress, product? How can we get new product? How can we get things that will better our life and the industry? And we look at the industrialization is evolving around engineering, technology, energy, industry, manufacturing. All these are the major problems we face in Nigeria and some other African countries. All these need to be addressed holistically. And safety must be enhanced on site where engineers are to work. This picture is the Sustainable Development Goals scorecard 2030. What people are working towards: reform, revolutionary, and reversal. We look at so many goals, which include reduce maternity, universal secondary education, reduce violent deaths, and some other pivot. Everything hinge on education. If we look at the goals, protect marine environment, to combat climate change, all these are pivotal and they revolve around the education for reformation. Then when we look at the Sustainable Development Goals, we look at Goal 4, which is talk about quality education. Outcome-based education is the answer for enhancing quality education. Also, Goal 9, talking about industry, innovation, and infrastructure. All these are engineering works. Sustainable cities and communities, all these must be worked on. And these are the aspects where we have to work on when we are talking about outcome-based education. What are the criteria for this? Most of the criteria are product, program evaluation, or program educational objectives. Every objective must be well spelled out, and program outcomes is very, very germane. Looking at the SDG, Sustainable Development Goal 7, we talk about strengthening the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. Capacity building has long been recognized as one of the means of implementation for the achievement of sustainable development. This is reflected in the outcome documents and action plans adopted by major international conferences on sustainable development. Then we talk about capacity building. People must be equipped. They must get the knowledge, the practical know-how. Capacity building activities are also aimed at strengthening and maintaining the capacities of states and societies to design and implement strategies that minimize the negative impacts of current social, economic, and environmental crises and emerging challenges. As a cross-cutting entry point, capacity building activities promote the integration of the 2030 agenda and the SDGs into the National Sustainable Development Planning frameworks, sharing lessons learned and good practices through workshops like this and related activities. Looking at the OBE, cognitive domain categories, we are moving towards synthesis and evaluation. The lowest form of learning is knowledge. When you talk about knowledge and the development of intellectual skills, after knowledge, you go to comprehension, application. When we are talking about high-level engineering work, we have to look at how can we translate this to practical? How can we analyze, synthesize? How can we translate this to physical things that people can work on, people that can benefit mankind? This includes the recall of recognition of facts, procedures, facts, and concepts. Capacity building is to emphasize the need for enhanced capacity building for sustainable development and for strengthening of technical and scientific cooperation, which is also recognized as a key issue for a wide range of areas such as climate change, sustainable development, sustainable energy, ocean sustainability, management, and chemical and waste, as well as financial. What are the expectations of OBE? One, OBE helps to have a more direct and rational curriculum in terms of the responsiveness to the societal and national needs. It enhances the graduate employability in an ever-growing and competitive world. Degrees will be well recognized in all Washington Accord countries. Enhances university, community, and stakeholder relations. Outcome-based education enhances universities' visibility and ranking, world ranking. It is very pathetic. It is very, very pathetic that some engineering graduates cannot deliver in workplace, and many perform below expectation. All this can be traced to low or inadequate application of outcome-based education. Before OBE engineering accreditation criteria must be well adhered to strictly. And what are the OBE criteria? It includes program evaluation objectives, PEOs, program outcome, PEOs, course learning outcomes, CLOs, curriculum and learning outcomes, processes, students, continuous quality improvement, staffing, physical facilities and infrastructures, institutional linkages and community services, institutional support and funding. All these are very, very important. OBE Center on Learners and Result-Oriented Method of Education, which we all know. Assessment of full criticality, all these things can be traceable to OBE. OBE must be well interpreted. Even global, regional, national greenhouse index scores in Asia and some other nations of the world. All these are the multidisciplinary measure of greenhouse effect, which all these must be well integrated and must be well addressed in the Sustainable Development Goals. What are the constituent accreditation decisions? This includes the different ways which work is done, and these are the applications, evaluation, monitoring, and planning. We prepare, we cope, and we recover. When we look at the outcome-based education, we have activities, so many things, quiz, research, case studies, all this must be well integrated. We talk about continuous quality improvement, which has a provision closed loop system in this place. It has a well-defined process for quality improvement, provide information and report that are prepared for quality improvement related to different accreditations, which are the examples. Staffing, like I said, is very, very important. Staff strength is very important. We look at the staff mix. We look at the academic staff qualification. We look at the faculty ratio. What are the full-time dedicated academic staff? And we look at all this. Physical infrastructure is very, very important. We look at the institutional support and funding. Funding is very, very important to get appropriate workshop, equipments, and the facilities in laboratories. These are the levels of learnings, which all these are very, very germane. And continuous quality improvement is very, very important for the PEOs, and course learning outcomes. And we look at the mitigation strategy, which include the CQI, qualification requirement of accreditation visitation, which are the SWEP, student work experience program, industrial training. There must be good synergy between industry and academia. These are the example of mapping of program learning outcomes for a typical course in my university, where I was teaching fluid mechanics, and all this must be well learned, mapped with the CLOs. The most all-inclusive curriculum reformation is one of the outcome-based education, effective program educational objectives. All this must be developed. And we talk about Bloom taxonomy, which is a useful model for designing engineering curricula and teaching. These are the processes for interpretations, and those are the conclusion. It has been discovered that objectives of outcome-based education cannot be realized if adequate attention is not given to staff development, transformational leadership skills, and adequate equipment of laboratories and other facilities in the university. Academic staff need to bring a strategic transformation to the curriculum to engage students in higher cognitive activities. This paper concludes that there must be synergy between academia and industries. Educational system must be managed for learners' empowerment, transformational education, and manpower development. Government agencies should provide adequate support that can assist the accreditation process, innovative ideas and funding of universities for sustainable development or outcome-based education for all faculty members. Global competitiveness can be achieved through outcome-based education approach, and all stakeholders in the education sector should embrace this outcome-based education is the way forward for attainment of better engineering practice, sustainable development, lifelong learning, and meaningful accreditation. Engineering challenges can be overcome through effective educational system, the advancement of our nation's viability of global competitiveness, efficient training, quality delivery of lectures, acceptability within the international community, synergy between academia and industry can only be achieved through outcome-based education. Recommendations, because of my time, program educational objectives should be addressed to address the needs of all stakeholders, and all expectations should be met. Regulatory bodies and accreditation boards should not relent in its efforts in bringing outcome-based education into limelight for global impact, effective manpower development, and relevance of engineering research in industries and international recognition of engineering training in Nigeria and world at large. So these are the examples. Concluding remarks. The model is,
we need to conclude.
Thank you very much. I appreciate I congratulate the organizer of this workshop on their notable achievement, drive for excellence, and great contribution toward research output. Congratulations for these successful workshops. Thank you very much. These are part of my references. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all the panelists, everyone for their attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joshua, for your nice talk. Do we have any questions from our panelists to Mr. Joshua? Okay, so let me quickly ask you a question. So you talked about the faculty training and capacity building, right? So what actually have you done in your institution specifically to address this issue?
What we do is to strengthen our staff by periodic training, and we acquire more equipment that can enhance the work of engineers, lecturers, and technologists. Also, we put a lot of things in pipeline for continuous quality improvement and physical facilities and infrastructural development. Also, there are institutional linkages and community services. All those are the work that are put in place for innovation, capacity building that can enhance our outcome-based education. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joshua. So thank you for your talk. So let me go to the next talk, which will be delivered by Professor Rajashree Rao, an overview on outcome-based education and faculty development initiatives in technical institutes. So Professor Rao, let me introduce her. Dr. Rajashree Rao graduated in Electronics and Communication Engineering from Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh, post-graduation in Electronics and Controls from Birla Institute of Technology and Science, Pilani, and doctorate in Electronics and Communication Engineering from NGR University, Chennai. She has 30 years of teaching experience in various positions in Engineering College, Chennai, Hyderabad, and Oman. At present, she is the Dean Academics at Nella Reddy Institute of Engineering and Technology, Hyderabad. She has published numerous international journal papers and is a member of ISTE, IEEE, and CSI, and is a reviewer for many journals and conferences. So, Professor Rao, please go ahead and share your screen, and we would be love to hear you talk.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to apologize for the lot of inconvenience which was created because of the technical issues which arose at my end. I really am very.
It always happens, so don't bother about it.
I had to rush to my friend's house, and from their house I'm presenting now. Okay, I'll just start my session now. Respected Professor Williams.
Can you just maximize your screen? Go to the
I just maximized, Doctor. But once I'm hitting this thing, it's maximized. It is maximized, but once I'm sharing the screen, it is minimizing up. I think
can you click over there as well? Can you just click over there? This bottom right, beside the 64%, it is say 64%. Can you click the button just right beside it?
It's not coming. That was the problem I was facing earlier too.
Okay.
Okay. Are my slides visible?
Your slides are visible, but not in the presentation mode.
I will put it in the slide mode.
Yes.
I don't think it will come. The slideshow, I'll put it. Now, is it visible, sir?
No, we
That's the problem they face it. Now it is visible?
No.
Not, I'll again share it. Just 1 minute. I'll just share the screen now. I had to keep it in this mode. Now is it visible?
The slide is visible, but not in the
slide sharing mode. It is not coming. So I'm sorry. There is some problem in the. I can present it in this form.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Respected Dr. Wazid Hussain, Dr. Sajid Munir, the session chair, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, a good evening to one and all. I am Dr. Rajeshri Rao, Dean Academics, working at Mallareddy Institute of Engineering and Technology, Hyderabad in India. I am honored to be the session speaker for this Global Virtual Summit 2002. And I would be addressing on the overview of outcome-based education in the target class. Hence, targets are set which must be acquired by the student by the end of the graduations. So teachers are only the facilitators of knowledge for the students. Outcome-based education is effective and it can be implemented by taking consideration of the course outcomes, the program outcomes, the program education objectives, and that has to be in the curriculum in the students' learning thing. So let us first initially see what is the difference between the outcome-based education and the traditional education system. When it is a traditional education system, this involves only what the knowledge is coming from the various generations again. And the focus is more on the inputs rather than the outputs. That is what the teacher is giving, that alone is taken. There are no activities which can be designed to access the knowledge which the student has gained in that subject. Here, the students will just be memorizing what the teachers has taught in the classrooms. And the students will be just sitting, listening to the traditional in the classrooms, and then by heart and write it in the exam. So the student is purely depending upon the teacher, and the knowledge acquired by the student will depend upon to what extent the teacher is teaching the students. So students will get a very good ability to memorize, and they will be able to succeed in the examination. But how far they will be able to face with the challenges of the world, the technological development is a really thing which has to be thought of seriously. So with that, we come for this outcome-based education. In this outcome-based education, it involves the application of the students' intellectual skills. The focus is more on the outputs rather than on the inputs. That is, the student what the student has acquired after the teacher teaches, what he is able to do in the real application. That means how is he going to apply it to the learning, whatever he has learned, into really practical skills. So the student adjusts their strengths and weaknesses to further develop their knowledge and skills. So the student will listen, learn, and demonstrate the task of their learning experience. The student here is self-dependent. That is, the student acquires the knowledge depending upon what he has learned. The teacher will be playing only a partial role in the student's development. The success of the student will depend upon how much of a skill he or she has developed. So what is done is, it is proved that by taking the outcome-based education, the student will be able to cope up with whatever are the various technological developments going on. So when the student graduates, what the various factors which are seeing are the employer sees about the honesty, the teamwork, interpersonal skills, the strong work ethics, motivation, flexibility, analytical skills, computer skills, organizational skills, leadership skills, self-confidence, friendly, and what is the outcome personality, whether they'll be able to cope up with the organizations, well-mannered, polite, what is the attitude of this. So in all, you can see each one of these is given a particular rating, and the GPA, the academic score is this. So overall, they should get even the sense of humor, the creativity, all that is it. So all this is acquired by the student only when they are right from the beginning, they are indulging in the practical exposures. It's not just reading, writing the examinations. So when we are going for the outcome-based education, we see whether what do we address some issues like what do the students will be able to do after they complete? How can we help the students to achieve it? How will you know whether the students have achieved it? And how do we close the loop for CQI, that is continuous quality improvement. So the benefits of outcome-based education are it's more directed and coherent curriculum. The graduates will be able to be more relevant to industry and to the stakeholders, and the continuous quality improvement is in stake. So when you are seeing the in outcome-based education, students will be able to really do the work properly. They will be able to do the projects according to the industry demands. They will complete it. They'll complete the case studies. They'll be able to think, innovate, and they will be having the tendency to ask why and how a particular thing has come. So they will be able to take some decisions upon whatever are the results of the research or the findings they do. This is possible only when right from the first year of the technical education, we focus on making the students do projects. So the practical exposure is more in outcome-based education rather than going for just by hearting the thing. So this is what is in it. In a traditional education process, the teaching staff, the curriculum labs, all are fixed. The input, the teaching and learning is there. The students, they just write, and at the graduation, they get a thing where everything is done depending upon the tests and the assignments. The quality of the teachers is not checked. So when we go for the outcome-based education, there is a teaching, then the students after graduation, in the 4 years, they will be checked by the assessments. They will be checked with the various projects, the analysis, and there's feedback taken from the stakeholders. Stakeholders may be the parents, the alumni, the employers, the graduate students, the exit students, and various people. So all that will be clubbed, and depending on that, we see how the students will be coming up. So to take that into task, we have to work according to the vision and mission of the institute. So whenever the outcome-based education is there, we first check up what is the vision and mission of the institute, what is the vision and mission of the faculty, and what are the program outcomes. Program outcomes are fixed. They are fixed by for all the technical courses and all. There are 12 program outcomes which are followed. The learning outcomes or the course outcomes are what is depending upon the course. After learning the course, what is the outcome further. So all these are mapped. The program educational object. All these are mapped, and depending on that, it is seen how it will be able to satisfy the particular conditions. So this is what is said. The vision of the faculty to be a leading engineering faculty for creation, preservation, and dissemination of knowledge, training and knowledge, workers for nation building and providing continuous technical support for ICT industry and industry. So what is the mission of the faculties? That is to produce a multi-skilled graduates, to give opportunities, provide opportunities for research, and to see that the industry takes in the students and it is grown in this. So for that, we go for this outcome-based education, wherein we see every subject we make in the mapping of the POs, COs with the POs and PEOs. We frame the syllabus. We continuously see for the whether some gaps are there in the curriculum, then what are the methodologies to be adopted so that the gaps are removed and the students know about the various new techniques which are going on, what are the recent trends in the technology. So there will be continuous feedback which is taken from various stakeholders. The course assessment is done continuously, program assessment is done continuously. They see whether the attainment has been reached or not. And the feedback from the various stakeholders is taken. And if need arises, there are continuous assessments and continuous quality improvement is done. So in outcome-based education, we see for continuous evaluation and checking up whether the particular goals have been reached or not. Initially, we put a threshold, and depending on that, we go and see whether it is being satisfied. For example, let us see how the PEOs are linked to the vision and mission. The vision of the faculty is to be a leading engineering faculty for creation, preservation, and dissemination of knowledge, training of knowledge workers for nation building, and providing continuous technical support for ICT industry in India. So as I told earlier, the three missions of the faculty will be to produce a multi-skilled graduates, to provide opportunities for resource and academic, and to provide graduates who will be observable in the industry. So there are two PEOs which we have to take in. The program educational to develop a competent engineers in the area of electronics and communication engineering, which are ready for the industry, and to produce innovative technical leaders that are able to contribute towards advancements in various spheres of electronics and communication engineering. So to provide that, now let us see how it goes on. These are the two PEOs which we have just now read off. Now we will take for any one subject. The first PO, what is it? Is ability to acquire and apply fundamental principles of science and knowledge. So how do we link off this with this? For each and every subject it is taken, whether the student is able to apply the basics of the science and engineering to the particular subject. Then there's another one, which is the capability to communicate effectively. So whether we see whether the student is able to communicate properly or not. So these are how, say one of the POs, the PO1 is this. It is in what all subjects it is going to be mapped. Most of the electronics and communication engineering, which branch to which I belong, all the subjects do require the basic fundamentals. So there is a mapping of PO1 for everything. So this is how we check up for each and every aspect of it. Now, for example, let us see for this PO2. What are the things we need? What are the various ways we need? The subjects in which we have to map it up is for all the theory subjects, for the lab subjects, for mini projects. Now, the assessment methods what we use are your coursework, the examination.
We're going to have 3 more minutes.
Okay, the presentation and the projects, the various industrial projects and all. I'll just hurry up. The documents what we need here for analyzing are your examination papers, the assignments, the final year projects, the industrial training projects and all. So it is the continuously evaluation with the industrial projects and all. Then once if we have to make the students so well, what is required is the faculties have to be upgraded, because what has been learned many years back is not what is applied now. It is now the artificial intelligence, the data science, the deep learning, the machine learning. So these are some of the pictures of my college where we are making the students do the projects. They go to the libraries, they explore the various e-learning modules and ensure that they learn it very well. So this is what we are doing. So what are the various faculty development programs we are implementing? Faculty development programs are required because until and unless the faculties are learning, they upgrade themselves. It will not be possible for the students to be imparted proper knowledge. So the purport which has to be given to the faculties are in terms of the consultations, in terms of the workshops, seminars, conferences, and book discussion. That is, the staff have to continuously upgrade themselves by participating in this. Every faculty has to go for the teaching, research, and service. Research means proposals, various presentations, publication in various papers, consultations, getting the funded projects and all. All this is required, and apart from the what service is rendered to the college or to the department. So in short, we can say that every faculty member has to be in the innovation process, because only when there is a culture of innovation, the students will be able to think that whatever is the modules the students will be given, and they will be able to think that why this is happening. That is what has to be inculcated. The method process of designing innovative thinking has to be developed, and that requires lots and lots of things. But in India, we see that there is not much of innovations going on. There are some problems, like there is a fear, if we fail, what will happen? Will there be anything? And so many things. So these are the things. The biggest challenges what is required are, it is in their discipline, whether it is the demand, the workload is too much and all. So 7 considerations which we need is foundational context, trust, environment, know-how, commitment, collaboration, risk, and fail. These are some considerations which we need to see. If we see all this, then the role of the teachers through impart technical education will be wonderful. And that is what is required for this. In short, I can say that by outcome-based education, the student will be able to really be ready to be absorbed in the market. And for that, right from the start, we need to see that the student gets in a lot of practical exposure rather than mugging up and by-hearting and putting all this. And to check up all this, we do have a number of accreditation processes where we see that the quality of education imparted in an institution is up to the mark. So these are some references which I have taken up, and I had to speed up because of the shortage of time. I'm thanks to all the things for patiently listening to my speech. And until and unless there is outcome-based education, there is no accreditation. So OBE and accreditation is a bridge between the traditional thing and what is actually required in the new world. So when it comes to, for example, my electronics and communication engineering itself, the old ones cannot be. We have to apply the artificial intelligence, the deep learning to the electronics part, and then it will be good. That is what we need to do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Rajashree Rao, for your nice talk. So let me see whether we have any questions here.
Yes, sir.
I don't see any questions. So does anybody have any question for Professor Rao from our panelists, from our other speakers? Okay, so if not, let me ask you a quick question.
Yes,
so
sir.
this OB is it's sort of like a paradigm shift in our teaching methodology, right? So and for sure it would put a lot of pressure on the faculty members, right?
Exactly.
They will have to do a lot of work, and I mean, it is natural that they may be reluctant to adopt to this new methodology, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, as we have learned from our previous talk by Mohammad Faisal Khan. So do you have any strategy that that you have implemented in your organization to,
yes, sir.
Address this challenge?
Yes, we are right now. Yes, as I told you that we are facing a lot of challenge, and to address this, we are actually encouraging the faculties to go for a number of consultations for funding projects and all, and we are giving a lot of incentives whenever they are publishing a paper, and a lot of research. We have started an incubation center. We have started startups. We have started real full-fledged R&Ds there, where a number of some projects are taken, and whatever are the old existing projects also, we are trying to bring in the new part, like artificial intelligence is what is required. So we are trying to conduct a number of faculty development programs for the faculties so that they are upgraded. They know what has to be applied in their field. And apart from that, yes, we are encouraging the faculties to go for research. So
okay.
This
These OB, it seems that it takes a lot of paperwork. So have you applied any automation tools in your institution?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
We have a number of tools. We have a very good R&D going on in this, and a lot of all the simulation tools we do have nowadays. It's all open sources also. So our education, the way you teach, let me just tell you, anything, we just don't take it in the class theoretically. We make them do everything in the simulation part. And apart from that, taking that into picture, how can we design something? So that part is being taught right from the first year. Ours is an autonomous institution, so we frame our own syllabus. So we take the outcome-based education into picture, see what are the gaps which are there in the present curriculum, and we try to add up some new things, which depending upon the intake we get from the various stakeholders. So we add up some extra experiments in the lab. We make the students do some small projects right from the first year. And we do participate in many things. We make the students be motivated, molded right from the first year of the joining, so that they're ready in all aspects. As I told you earlier, it is not alone the grades which are important. The attitude, their communication skills, their leadership skills, how they are, everything is seen right from the first year of their joining. We see that the students are molded well so that they are ready for the market, not alone technically, in other aspects too. To improve in technical part, we make them do a lot of projects. We have a lot of project expos. We make them go for various conferences and all. In fact, we had conducted just on July 8th, 9th, an international conference where students have participated and their papers are getting published in Scopus journals. So these are just the initial steps which I've taken, and with time it should improve.
Okay, so thank you very much for your presentation and the lively discussion. So
thank you, sir.
Thank you. So I guess we don't have our last presenter, Dr. Erickson, here today. So with this presentation, I would like to conclude this session. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks to all the speakers for the nice presentations. So have a good night or day, afternoon.
Good day. Thank you.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.